Hello, and welcome. Today I'm going to show you how to set up your Paradex account and then how to connect that account using API credentials to the Mithril bot builder, and then how to launch your first bot. Feel free to use the timestamps in the bottom of the video to help you navigate if there is any specific section of this that you're more or less interested in. All right, let's jump straight into it. So here we go. I've just set up a new wallet and funded it with a tiny bit of ETH and a bit of USDC. We're at Paradex. We've used the Mithril ref code so that we get a little of a bonus on our points. So on Paradex, if you don't know already, you can earn points, essentially XP, by providing TVL, by generating volume, and by generating referrals. So by using ref code, we get a bit of a bonus on these points that we're going to be earning, which are currently quite attractive on the OTC market. And it's going to be really interesting to see how these points do once they go live on the public market. Here we can see that I have the ref code applied, remember me, and then choose my wallet. I'm going to use the MetaMask that we just set up for these testings. We're going to connect all of this. We're going to confirm. We are going to sign again. And then there we go. That's how easy it is to set up the Paradex account. We're going to use the username. Let's just do... we're simply going to call this testing account in one. Let's see if that's okay. Perfect. We are live. So then what we want to start by doing is just to make a bit of a deposit. We're just going to do something like $50 for now. We're going to enable the bridge and then do the deposit. So this should be something like 2 signatures. There we go. And the deposit. This can sometimes takes a couple of seconds depending on the network activity and how much people are using ETH at the moment. But there we go. Took a couple of seconds. So now we have the Paradex account. We can see if we have a bit of money on it. Perfect. So we can see that the $50 arrived. Now what we want to do is we want to head over to this drop down. We want to click on settings, and then we want to click on key management. This is where we're going to get the information we're going to need for the Mithril bot builder. So up until now, you've seen how we've created a Paradex account and how we've funded it. Now I'm going to jump over to the Mithril bot builder. The access code Mithril is still in private beta. So to access this, you would need to go to bot.mithril.money. And then if you type in WINTOGETHER all capitals, you get access. Let's try it out. So there we go, WINTOGETHER, all capitals, and now we're connected. And then you can see that we get sort of an onboarding flow. So we're going to connect the wallet here as well. We're going to use the MetaMask. We're going to be prompted to sign. And there we go. Now we got the right wallet connected. We can see that we have the wallet address here. It's going to be the same wallet address as we have up here. Beautiful. Let's continue. Let's set up the Paradex. Since we already got the Paradex account, we could just press skip and then add API credentials. This is where it gets interesting, right? So let's call this the Paradex API. Yes, label works. It's going to be mainnet. So here for the Stark public key, our private key and account address, we're going to need to jump back into Paradex. So here, once again, you want to click your account in the upper right corner, and then settings from the drop down menu, and then key management. Under key management, you want to head to sub key and then add new key. We can call this one tester key 1. Let's continue. And here we're going to get the private key. So this private key is only going to be shown once, essentially here. So make sure that you copy it. We're going to head over to Mithril again, and we're going to paste this on the private key, right? So private key here. We can show the private key for this to make sure that it's right. And then this private key you should never share, show, or send to anyone, because then they could technically trade on your account. I don't think that they can withdraw money from it, but they could trade using it, right? And then we can just take away this and make sure that it's the same. Okay, here it's not being revealed. And then we have the public key. So then we jump back here, right? We can hide this key again. Cool, we have it. The public key is going to be this one that is shown now under the tester key. The private key will never be shown again. So highly recommend to save that somewhere so that you can have it, because you might want to go back and use it multiple times. And then what we want to do is also to press on the account, press on wallet, and then get the Paradex address one. So the one that has the main label on it, we're going to copy that, and we're going to bring that into Mithril, and we're going to add that on the account address. Now we can see that we have everything filled out. We're going to press save and test credentials. This is going to perform a test connection to Paradex to make sure that these two are now speaking to each other. They are. We don't need to save. And then all of this is set up, right? So we've connected the wallet. We have the Paradex account. The Paradex account have been funded. We now also added the API details. Now we can create our first bot. And my absolute favorite is one of the market maker bots. I'm currently running it with great efficiency. So it's doing below $20 in cost for 1 million in volume, which is absolutely ridiculous. So there will be more strategies, but right now in the private beta, you have the market maker one. So we're going to launch that one. We're going to use it on Bitcoin. And then we're going to call it tester 1 BTC. And then we're going to press next. And here you can configure your own setup if you want. But what I would recommend maybe for first-time users or people that are completely new to this is to press the preset configurations. Here you have two different options. You have the liquidity hunter and you have the tight spread. The difference between these are essentially just the bips. The bips is the spread in the range, right? So if you think about 9 bips, essentially is going to be a bigger spread, whereas the 2 bips one is going to be shorter. So you're going to have a lot higher, most likely volume with something like a 2-bit one than a 9-bit one. The 2-bit one will most likely hit stop loss very often because the spread is so tight, right? So essentially the movement that the price can have on a 2 bips one is a lot smaller than on a 9-bit one. But we want volume, so we're going to choose the 2-bip spread. We're going to press I understand, and then that's quite literally it. Now the bot is created. The only thing I have to do now is to press the green button. I just want to show very quickly the different settings. So here you can see the API credentials connected, the name. Here we have the ticket size. So this is at $100. You could, of course, do something smaller like $10. Below $10 is tricky because Paradex, I don't think, accept it. So maybe do $15 or $20 if you're completely new. Spread 2, you can, of course, change it. I'm going to keep it at a 2 bips spread. The refresh interval is quite interesting. So the refresh interval is essentially the time that your bot will allow the trade to be open, and if it's not filled within that window, then it will automatically cancel the order and open up a new one every 10 seconds. If we changed this to 15, it would be every 15 seconds. And what this means is that if you have a low refresh interval, you might have a lot of uncompleted order, meaning they do not fill. Whereas if you have a very long one, you might have completed orders, so they do get filled, but you might see less volume. So one way to think about it is if you increase the refresh interval, you might have a better P&L, so you might have more profitable trades, you might have more filled orders, but your volume will most likely decline because you won't do the same amount of transaction per minute, hour, day, etc. So one way to tweak this could be to increase the refresh rate to improve P&L or profitability and fill that more orders get filled, whilst also increasing the ticket order, because then even though you have less frequency of trades, you have bigger trades, so now you still have the high volume if what you want to do is farm points. We're going to save these changes, and then, now I need to just choose the Paradex API. We're going to save again. And now what we need to do is to press the big green play button. And then that will do a check and essentially start the bot. We can see that the bot has started. It has connected. And then we can quickly just jump into the Paradex account. Here we can see that we've started to see a little bit of data. So we can see that the account value is updated. We can see that something just happened because we just made a cent. Now we just lost a cent. That's okay. We can see a little bit of information, and we can see that we've actually started to get orders in here. Let's jump into the trade window so that we can see this happen in real time instead. So here we go. Here we have the position. Now it disappeared. Let's see if we can get that position or another order to come in on the order book. But yeah, so like this is live and working now. We can jump back and see. Here we go. Here we have the open orders. Beautiful. So the bot is live and working. This is how you set up your Paradex account, how you fund it, how you get the API credentials, how you add those API credentials to the Mithril bot builder, how you onboard to the Mithril bot builder, and how you launch your first bot. You can see here now that even the live console is showing the actual updates. Beautiful. And we can see here that order gets filled. That's how you do it. If you want to join the Perp Wars. All the best and good luck. And then we're